Don't go anywhere. This is Ask an Autism Mom Live. Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Eggert of LAKIKID Ask an Autism Mom Live. You can join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern to share insights, learn tips, and meet other families. On today's show, I will be discussing flexible seating and how to know if it is right for your classroom or your home. I want to welcome those of you watching live on Facebook or listening to our podcast or iTunes on YouTube. If you want to get alerts to join us live or ask questions live, you can simply visit lakikid.com/live or type 5 in the comments. If you type 5 in the comments, you will be subscribed to live updates. I want to welcome all of our viewers this afternoon. Let's see, we have I see Mary Ellen. Hi, Chris. Good morning. I want to thank all of you for coming, of course. Today, I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to dive into a topic that works for home and school. So, hi, Angela. If you're just joining us, you're asking to Ask an Autism Mom live show, and we're discussing flexible seating options and if it is beneficial to your school or home. We can't wait to dig into the topic with you today, but first, a huge shout out to our sponsors. I actually am going to show you a sneak peek of a new product coming out on Monday. This is our favorite ball chair. This thing is amazing for elementary school children. It's got 5 little legs, and it sits on the ground, and you can sit on it. You can bounce on it. You can rock on it. Riley actually discovered this weekend when she gets upset, she puts her tummy on it and rocks back and forth like this on her tummy. It gives her the sensory input she really, really needs. So this ball chair can be used at home, at school, anywhere. We use it for eating, for watching TV. My child is the child that watches TV upside down and reads upside down. So with these tools, I'm able to get her to simply read and focus in a more naturalized position. So I want to talk about flexible seating at home and in the classroom. Now, classrooms with the rigid seatings go back to somewhere around 80 years. They started this rigid seating and they've never really left it. Rigid seating is desks and tables placed in an organized fashion. Most of you know the tradition of rows. I grew up in rows. The teacher had rows and so many desks per row. That is rigid seating. Now, Riley, her class contains somewhat rigid seating, but it's different. They have desks. The desks are put together and 4 to 5 students sit at each desk. That is rigid seating. That is their seat for the day, other than when they break off into small groups and whatnot. So that's where rigid seating comes from. Now, over the last few years, teachers have discovered that they have other options. Rigid seating is not necessarily beneficial to every child. Now, these flexible seating options range greatly. I'm going to get into them a little bit more. I'm actually going to be doing an entire month on flexible seating. So over the last few years, teachers have decided to move to more relaxed and less rigid options. We're now seeing classrooms where they use couches, carpet squares, optional and alternative seatings, cozy corners where kids can concentrate. I have seen a classroom that actually uses a bar table and bar stools as part of their optional seating. I have seen the scoop chairs put in the reading area for optional seating. I have seen cushions, beanbag chairs. Optional seating is really anything that changes them from sitting in the rigid form of seating. Now, optional seating does not work for everyone and for every teacher. Flexible seating is one that's hard to implement, and we will get into implementation because it's not just put this chair in your class and it'll work. I will be doing a show with Matt, the OT, coming up soon to discuss more of how to implement it and how to make your flexible seating really work for you and your classroom if you have a classroom. Now, those who support it are seeing that their students benefit from the choice of learning space and the ability to move. I have been speaking with a variety of teachers, and one has her students in their class for 80 minutes at a time. 80 minutes is a very long stretch of time to be sitting in one particular spot, not moving. So the flexible seating would allow her to start her class doing writing at their desks and then move to reading. And when she moves to reading, she could do flexible seating and the option that the children get to stand up and move to where they prefer. Now, many are going to say that the old way no longer works, so we need to be open to changes. One high school teacher recommends a cooler version of Starbucks for high school students. You know how Starbucks has a variety of different seating options, couches, tall tables, short tables. They give a lot of options in Starbucks. So one teacher that I was reading about actually tries to mimic Starbucks in the way that they have options for where they're going to sit that day. I'm sorry, my dog is being forced to stay inside today due to the storm, and he's being difficult. The move to flexible seating allows the students to make the classroom more theirs, and they can become more invested in their education. Cam, stop. Sorry. So allowing them to choose allows them to put more investment into their education. Flexible seating can range from just allowing students to choose their seats and move around the classroom more frequently. Some of the flexible seating are couches, floor pillows, beanbag chairs, ball chairs, stools, low tables, standing work surfaces, and traditional chair and desk combinations, wiggle seats, and fidget bands. There is considerable research on the benefits of students being able to move around for their health and fitness, and suggestions are that it helps their brains as well. Remember, being seated in one spot for 80 minutes, as some classes do, you shut down because you're so tired and bored by the end of it. So that flexible seating allows them to move, allows them to get what they like. Things to think about before you try. Now, these are the key points I want you to consider before you implement flexible seating. It should be suitable for the students in your class, for you, for the classroom size, and for the needs of your class. Sorry, my dog just got out of his crate. Setting needs to be appropriate for the teacher, student, subject, and space. It can be done gradually. Don't just jump into flexible seating and say, here we go. Start small and build up to a more flexible classroom. It gives you time to adjust. It gives your students time to adjust. And it lets you do it properly. Donations of supplies and help in setting it up. Don't feel bad asking parents if they have old bar stools that they're willing to donate, or carpet squares, or beanbag chairs, because those items, if you get donated, can really help build your classroom. And yes, if you have a homeschool classroom, that could be taken in the same way as well. The teacher needs to be comfortable with the change and what it will mean for the class. Now, yes, I agree that some students are going to get a little bit more active with these flexible seatings. So the teacher has to think about their realistic expectations and make it work for the classroom. It should be comprehensive, and the lessons may need to be adjusted to the new classroom setting. Flexible seating is amazing for small group work. It is amazing for independent study. It is amazing for reading. So look at your lessons and work it around what you want with the flexible seating. It creates excitement, but it does require rules. Flexible seating improves attitudes, but also needs clear rules and expectations. So you can't just come in and tell your students, okay, this is our new setup. No, you need to say, we have rules on this setup. Some limit how many times you can use a particular seating area in a day. That way, one child is not hogging, say, the beanbag chairs. So really think about setting it up. Now, in setting it up, you want to take your class size into consideration, your student amount, everything. I have seen teachers actually move out formal desks to make more room for flexible seating. Now, next week, we will get more into the implementation of flexible seating, and I will explain a lot more with the help of Matt, our OT friend, on how to make it easier to kind of implement. Now, I'm going to jump into questions. If anyone has any questions about this, let me know. While I'm waiting for questions to show up, I'm going to again show this new product that comes out on Monday, folks. This is our ball chair. This ball chair would be ideal for sitting at a computer, for reading, I've actually seen it being used for testing centers. When they do map testing on the computers, I've seen a teacher use a ball chair to get her students to focus on the test, but to have that freedom of movement, which they're not supposed to have, but she feels they really need. So our flexible ball chair has 5 legs so that it will not roll around in your classroom or in your homeschool setting or in your living room if you use it for TV watching or dinner like I do. This fits a standard elementary school desk. It is wonderful. Like I said, you can sit on it, you can bounce on it, you can rock on it. Riley lays on her belly on it and rocks back and forth to get that input. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming. I'm just reading through your comments now. To my mom, I love you too, Mom. Angela loves the balls for TV time. She has multiple children, many with different disabilities, and they fight over their one chair. Now, I am going to tell you, I have heard a little rumor that when our chair premieres, we may be doing a special for the first so many chairs. So please watch Monday for an announcement on that. Angela used to teach, and when she was teaching, she used standing table with bar stools, coffee tables with pillows, bean bags that they could move as wanted. So she really took into effect the kids she was dealing with, the space she was dealing with, and found an alternative that worked for her. Now, my mom wants me to remember my sister was in special ed her entire life, and she loved it. They used beanbags in certain areas. They would use a specialized swing chair for her. She really had options, but she was more in a class of, I think, 5 kids to 3 adults, all severely disabled. So they looked at more alternatives because most of these children were wheelchair bound. Now, I heard Jason say that if you're having a problem with the video, please try rebooting your Facebook app and trying again. If it is not working, remember, I save all of my videos so you can watch again later. Yes, Jess, these items that I am discussing can be used in the house, in the living room, where you do homework, in your sensory setting. If you have a sensory room, the ball chair is a wonderful addition to any sensory playroom. Sorry, I've got to sneeze. But the ball chair can be used in a sensory playroom. All of our products would be beneficial in a sensory playroom. So don't worry. Now, I know Jason uses the ball chair in his living room so that his children can use them while watching TV. He has 3 children, 2 of which are big enough to use the chair. The baby, unfortunately, isn't quite big enough yet, but he actually uses them during TV time. It helps him focus and relax. Now, yes, Alicia, that's one thing. When you have alternative classes like woodshop, like home economics, they're wonderful classes, and kids tend to excel in them because they are moving around, they are actively doing something. They're not just sitting and writing, sitting and reading. So yes, home ec, woodworking, different classes where you're moving around and actually doing things, you will see children tend to do better. My son currently is excelling in robotics because he's not sitting at his desk. He is actively working on the computer programming to make the robot run, and then he has to build the robot to use the computer program. I'm just scrolling through the comments if you give me 1 minute. So, do I have any other questions? Like I said, I am hoping to have Matt come on the show in the next week or 2 to talk about implementing active seating, because it's not as simple as plopping down the ball chair and saying, here you go. So Matt will really come in and tell us how to make active seating, flexible seating, productive for you, for your home classroom, for your classroom, whatever your situation is. I really enjoyed talking to you today. I'm excited about flexible seating. I'm excited about where it could take our children. So I know I'm working with Riley's teacher on flexible seating. I've recently started working with other teachers on including flexible seating. So I'm going to do a couple shows about flexible seating this month so that we really dig into it and know what we are talking about. Now, Angela says that they have a teacher at church. After talking to me, she started using the ball during meeting times. She told them it helps her focus more on what they're talking about. Exactly. These are not just for children, folks. I research my notes every week. Every single week, I work hard to put together a show that is meaningful, educational, and not too boring. I will admit, more than once I have sat down and gone, I can't do this today. So I'll pull out my fidget band. I'll pull out the ball chair. I'll pull out the wiggle seat, whatever it takes. I actually use them myself to help include that movement because I do have ADHD, and I find giving myself that movement really helps. So don't be ashamed if you borrow your children's products. Trust me, I have gotten told many times that it is not fair I use Riley's things. So I want to thank you all for coming. Don't forget, Matt will be here soon to discuss everything. Melinda. Oh, Melinda, I love that. Melinda's doctor's office has actually noticed that some of the nurses use ball chairs. I agree, it's being used more and more in different settings because they realize the benefit. So the benefit is amazing. So if there are no other questions today, I am going to start wrapping it up. Remember, if you type 5 in the comment section below, you will be subscribed to live updates. So when I go live, they will let you know. Now, thanks for joining us today. I'm Jen Eggert, and you can join me live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern for more parenting tips. Remember, you can always join our parent support group at LAKIKID.com/group. You can type 5 in the comment section below to subscribe to live updates. And if you are on YouTube, please hit the bell to subscribe to updates on YouTube. I want to thank all of you for coming with me today. I know it was a bit off due to some personal issues being on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. Next week, I will be live Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go back to our regular schedule, folks. So I will see you Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I hope you have a wonderful week. If you have any questions or concerns, I am in group. I am on Facebook Messenger. Just let me know. Thanks for watching. And remember, every child brings good luck.